I'm Gabe Jewell, and this is Comic Smack, the weekly comic show where we take closer, more in-depth looks at the coolest and most happening things going on in the world of comics and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at Uncanny Avengers issue number 8. The Avengers team is trapped inside Pleasant Hill with their minds rewritten. Can they escape? Let's hop on in and find out.
Alright, so this is a huge comic with a lot to cover, so let's not waste any time. As we join the book, we can see all the different members of the Uncanny Avengers adapting to life with their minds rewritten by the Kobik intelligence. Specifically, Claire, or as we know her, Rogue, who right now is dealing with Disney princess problems. You know, the one wanting to be part of your world, wanting more than this provincial life. She's bored is what I'm trying to get across. The only excitement she's seeming to get in Pleasant Hill is actually phone calls from a creepy stalker with an oddly familiar voice. Why yes, that is Professor X calling her on the phone, but how could that possibly be, you might be asking yourself? Well, you know, it's nothing a good old-fashioned flashback can't explain. You see, during Rogue's earliest days with the X-Men, Professor X gave her special training to repel psychic attacks. Think of it as a special kind of mental failsafe put into place in case anyone should ever try and manipulate Rogue's mind. If the worst was ever to happen and she lost her free will completely, a psychic image of Charles Xavier would come to try and warn her, which is what's happening right now. Free from the spell of Kobik, Rogue decides it's time to get the Avengers back together, not just her team of Uncanny Avengers, but also the all-new, all-different Avengers as well. First up is Chet, or Johnny, who Rogue chooses to remind him that he's the Human Torch by proving that he's fireproof. So yes, she lights him on fire off-panel. Some might call that a little extreme. I call that a little bit awesome. Next up is Kamala Khan, Ms.Marvel, who they're able to get to use her powers by picking a fight with her, and the rest just kind of fall back into place. Poor Deadpool actually enjoyed the delusion Kobik was offering him as a hunky Tom Selleck-esque firefighter. This experience giving Wade yet another reason to hate Connecticut. Now that the team's all back together, they need to concentrate on getting out. They regroup at Tony Stark's auto body shop. Yeah, they made one of the smartest men in the world a mechanic, ain't that funny? And when they tell Tony who he is, he's like, oh yeah, I'm a handsome billionaire, wicked. The two groups figure their biggest issue is A, settling this multiple Maria Hills problem, and 2, touching base with Steve Rogers, Captain America, as he has to know what's going on right now. Unfortunately, their planning gets cut short as Kobik, their jailer, makes the scene, and she is none too happy. Uncanny Avengers issue number 8 was a story that I ended up liking a whole lot. It's fun to see that even in the midst of a huge event like Pleasant Hill, they still have time to take things slow and tell, you know, a character story. In fact, it was several character stories. I like the extra focus on Rogue and her training she had with Professor Xavier. Now, that's not to say it was perfect. The timeline of events certainly makes me scratch my head. So this is sometime after Captain America went to Pleasant Hill, but before the supervillain uprising. Kobik also seems to appear in multiple places at once, but then again, she is an omnipotent godchild, so I would be surprised if she couldn't do that. I also like after fighting in the last issue, the all-new, all-different Avengers and the Uncanny Avengers quickly put their differences aside for the greater good. And while they were both very short scenes, I have to say Deadpool and Vision kind of stole this issue for me. I like that they play with this idea that both men were kind of happier with the pleasant delusion that Kobik had to offer them. Overall, I would feel comfortable giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.